Seems to be working. Welcome back to Japan. I see the comments have already started. It's so good to have you already here. And it's time for the face. Yes, here I am. Welcome back to Japan. Me and Devil Ronald McDonald. I can't even say his name right now. Me and Devil Ronald McDonald. This is one of the things I like to buy shirts in secondhand shops, t-shirts in secondhand shops, which have obviously nonsensical English on them. This one you guys might have seen before. The beloved "Dispose Your Behaviour" shirt is joining me today. I have no idea who wrote that and why. Oh, I'm getting messages. Oh, I'm getting a message saying that I'm live now. So glad that I hit that reminder bell to remind myself that I am doing this. Anyway, see what everyone's saying. Hi there, welcome into the room. The good thing about announcing these live streams in advance is it means there's plenty of you here, which means we can get straight into talking about some of the interesting topics that we've got for today. Yes, interesting topic time. But before interesting topic time, today's beer is the Red Kirin, although they claim, as this kanji will tell you, that it is new. That's the kanji for new. Well, I'm getting so many notifications coming up. I've got a notification just on the pad, on the phone, now on my computer, telling me that I'm live. I know. I know that I am me. So that was a big sigh, says Loon. Yeah, that was a big sigh. I do that sometimes when I'm setting up. I just sigh to myself. I look at myself in the camera and go. So let's have a look at some of the things coming through here. Hi, Harry. Hi, Sven. Hi, Fourblades. It's a sunny but cold UK. That sounds like the UK to me. CMC, thanks for dropping the Reddit in there as well. Greetings to Fernando in Montreal. Greetings to everyone. CMC says Fujiyama Disco by Silent Siren passed 5 million views this week. Congratulations to them. The rest of the band are trying to explain the number to... Yeah, I was watching the recent thing on the Sci channel where they were making, spoiler alert, they were making pancakes and everyone else had to guess what the pancake was of. And Sue made a bass guitar. Her one was to make a bass guitar, and so she basically made a guitar with 4 strings. And Yukaron thought it was a guitar, and then when she was told it was a bass guitar, she was surprised to find out bass guitars have 4 strings. She's a keyboard player. She doesn't need to know that. She doesn't need to know that. She doesn't need to know that. Howdy again. Nice to have so many people here right from the beginning. It's good when I can schedule these. Nice to have you here. I hope the director can explain to me why there was no more Ainyam time in the music video. For Fuji. I think she got equal time to all of them, didn't she? Oh, you're just biased. Anyway, so we got a few topics to cover. First of all, I just wanted to say a big thank you to everyone for last week with the 9 hour, 45 minute and 30 seconds of Bandmade live stream. That was absolutely brilliant. I had no idea how that was going to play out in reality. And the end result was, it was just so much better than I could have possibly hoped for. So, you know, it was really something that I just appreciated so much, sharing that with you guys. So I just wanted to start off by saying a big thank you to everyone who was involved in that. Subsequently as well, I mean, it's got so many more views than it even had during the live thing. People going back and checking it out. And I can see from statistics, people really stuck with it, watched through the whole thing, or at least the majority of it. Even when we went to part 2, which now has almost half as many views as part 1, and by the laws of diminishing returns, that's quite a surprisingly good figure, especially when part 1 was 7 hours. Well, 7 hours, 45 minutes. So, yeah, no, it was absolutely brilliant. And so many good things I took from that. Just wanted to quickly cover this first of all. Just say, first of all, it really sort of amazed me and impressed me how much, how easy it was to listen to the whole thing. It didn't become tiresome at any point. It was really enjoyable. And also just how strong the community was. We've had lots of conversations on this channel before about sometimes when you post videos of certain bands, Bandmate not so much one of these, but to a certain degree they do have it, like all bands. You have sometimes like the negative toxic fans come out the woodwork sometimes, and there's not that many of them with Bandmate, which is quite good. And it was really nice to see. It shows who the real fans are, because the ones who stuck with that live stream, the ones who were there on that live stream, just like proper good fans, you know, properly sort of talking about the songs, the ones they liked, the ones they didn't like as much. It felt, you know, it felt like real music fans really sitting down and enjoying something. It felt like a road trip. It's like we all started at the same point, we all finished at the end point, even if some of you had to come back later to rewatch. We all got to the end eventually, and yeah, no, to me it was absolutely brilliant. So one of the things I was hoping to do in the future, we might look to do more of them. I was thinking about artists who would apply for it. Baby Metal, although we are doing the top 15, reworking that. It's way overdue, but we're reworking that to include Metal Galaxy, which it didn't when we first did it, as a top 10. That one doesn't really sort of warrant a marathon listen through, because they've only got 3 albums. I mean, you could listen to all 3 albums in, like, you know, about less time than it would take to watch The Irishman. So, you know what I mean? As a result, that's not really worthy of a marathon sit-down listen. That's just one I'll do myself. However, I was thinking bands like Bish would be really interesting, because they've got a really mixed range of songs. I believe they've got quite a few, like, between all their albums and EPs. I think they've got quite a lot of music, actually. I might be wrong, but I seem to remember they do. So that would be one that I would probably find really interesting to do a marathon of them. That might take a good sort of 5 or 6 hours, perhaps. Don't know, someone will have to let me know. Someone who knows the catalogue better. But I was thinking as well, if you guys got any ideas for bands who you think would be good to do a full listen through of, maybe not Scandal. That'd be like a whole day. But yeah, it'd be really fun to sort of follow up on that sort of stuff with you guys. So any ideas on that would be really good. Let's have a look at some of the comments coming in. Simply, they bet she can spell and type better than me. The fact that that's kind of hard to read might well confirm it. So CMC, Flappy Paddle opinion, is a whole 50 made enough? Poe. Yeah, you've just retracted that message. I'm not surprised. I have no idea what you were talking about. You say 3 albums, but there's also, this is from Loon, he says, you say 3 albums, but there's also covers and alternate versions, 55 songs in total for Baby Metal. Actually, that might well make sense. I mean, alternate versions, not so. Really depends, because obviously when we did the Bandmate one, we did listen to Band Michael, but I thought that was a very, very different thing. Yeah, maybe alternate versions is a point. 55 songs, and their songs are on average longer than Bandmate's songs. So, okay. Maybe it would be worth sitting down and thinking about maybe doing that. I think for it to be a marathon, it's got to be like at least 5 hours, isn't it, really? Because it's got to be something that, it's got to be worth us doing it as a community effort. I'm not just sort of putting them out for every band just randomly, because obviously I can listen to the songs in my own time. The only reason why I do them as a marathon is so that we can share a bit of a journey. So it would have to be at least 5 hours to warrant doing that. So yeah, that might be a good one, but okay, so maybe Baby Metal afterwards. Maybe Baby Metal after all. CMC, Flappy Pigeon opinion, is a whole 50 enough? What do you mean by whole 50? So Midas Miku signature guitar, aka I know the guitar, but I don't really know what you mean by whole 50. My opinion on the guitar, actually. This is an interesting one, because I think it's a beautifully intricate guitar. It's got loads of really fascinating details on it. I must admit that I've always found, I was saying this actually on the Discord chat before, I always find it very weird when people buy signature guitars, Because for me, a signature guitar, by its definition, is very personal to a musician. It's designed to really be their signature. For me, kind of buying the signature guitar of a famous guitarist is kind of like wearing someone else's clothes and spending a lot of money to do it. I was trying to think of analogies, and one of the analogies I used on Discord is it's kind of like when you see people wearing like a football, a football shirt with the name of their favorite footballer on the back, or soccer if you're American, and they got the name of their favorite player on the back, and they're wearing the shirt, and probably they've shouted at more televisions than they've actually kicked footballs. So yeah, just in case you're American, footballs, you kick them with your feet. Football. Dislike suddenly appearing on this page. So yeah, I don't even care about football, so I don't know why I'm bringing this up. But yeah, so I always found signature guitars just a very weird thing to buy. I think it was CMC who mentioned that. Sorry if it was someone else, but in the Discord, that actually there is a point if you buy it as a collector's item and just sort of hang it on the wall or just occasionally play it. But I can't remember what they were, but I remember there have been some people I knew from London who did actually perform live with signature guitars, and I just found that really strange. Unless you're in a cover band. And that's a lot of investment for being in a cover band where you're probably not going to make much money anyway. So yeah, I always found signature guitars a very weird thing, but just as a machine, Miku's guitar is actually, I was looking at some of the details and it's really beautiful. Not my personal style. I prefer things more colorblind because my eyes are rubbish. Colorblind, I prefer things more colourful because I'm colorblind with my rubbish eyes. However, can't deny it's very ornate, very detailed, very beautiful little guitar. So yeah, definitely all for that. Anyway, Loon says you could do Sakura Gakuin. Ooh, I think I have about 80 unique songs in my folder. Sakura Gakuin would be an interesting one. I don't know how that would go, but I think it'd have been nicer to do that nearer to when they disbanded. It would have been nice to do that as a farewell tribute, but still might be worth doing. Maybe if we got Karen Girl, Sakura Gakuin, and Baby Metal and did all of them together, that would be like a 12-hour stream. That'd be an interesting one. Half marathon or perhaps a 10K. Says I like that. The Baby Metal half marathon. They're only making 50. Okay. So they're only making 50 of the guitar. Warren, someone else's clothes, says the man in the second-hand chat. The difference is that the person who owned this before is not still wearing it. And this, unless this was actually owned by Ronald McDonald, or the McDonald's CEO, then it doesn't particularly define the owner as being part of the product. There you go. I talked my way out of that. Fernando for the Flappy Pigeon. Ooh, good point. The Flappy Pigeon will limited 50 units and only sold in Japan. So Fernando backing up what CMC was saying there, but very interesting point. Nonetheless, I now know. Thank you. Harry, yeah, Scandal would likely kill you as a single day of listening to every song, about 50% more songs than Bandmaid. I'm surprised only 50% more. I would have expected them to have maybe like 100% more, like sort of double the collection. Considering how long they've been around. Yeah, I've got quite a few CDs, but then again, Bandmaid actually have quite a few CDs now as well. I keep on forgetting they've actually got quite a large catalogue, Bandmaid, now. Of all people, I shouldn't forget that after last weekend. Are you saying you wouldn't wear Miku's Maid outfit, says Loon? I'm not sure. It's one of those things, I know you're just joking when you say that, but when someone says that to me, I think of it literally, and I think, there's no reason why I would want to wear it, but just because it would be such a bizarre thing for someone to offer to me, I would almost be like, all right then, once in a lifetime thing, let's wear her maid outfit. Everyone else would regret it. Now you say it, I'm thinking literally, if someone offered me to wear it, would I wear it? Well, just out of interest, I'd be like, there we go. This doesn't suit me at all, and I'm about 15 times too big for it. Seriously, Ninganess Marathon stream. Yeah, we talked about that one before. Yeah, that would be very funny, but yeah, it's not going to happen. It's way too much. Plus, I don't think I'd be able to get through their earlier material, which was really stoner rock. I think I'd have to have someone ship something to me, which was totally illegal for Japan, and then get deported. So, yeah, probably not going to happen. Their new stuff I prefer so much to the majority of their new stuff to the majority of their older stuff. CMC also said more likely he would wear Akane's outfit. Little hat perched on top of a big old bald head. CMC, the GMIV, the Howard TM shoulders are not broad enough to pull. Thanks. Anyway, wanted to also add to that then, what you guys have been thinking and feeling in regards to the new format of the videos. I wasn't expecting the channel to change as much as it has in the last couple of months. And like I say, my core thing is I always wanted to very much make sure that people were not feeling like I'd done away with what they came to the channel for. So I've been kind of worried about how much it's changed, but every change we've done to the style of the videos, I've really felt they've been getting better and better very quickly, just over the individual videos. The last 3 I put out, Scandal, Trident, and Nemophila, I've been personally very happy with them. I had some trouble with the way that I was scripting it before. I'm much more happy with the way I'm scripting it and reading it. I'm happy that the content is just better as well. I love talking like this, just off the cuff. I love talking like this. But if we really want people to come to this channel, considering that we can't really hit on just sort of, doing the stuff we did before, which was the big name artists we had when we started the original channel, then the material needs to be concise in a way that people can go there and they don't feel, more casual viewers don't get bored of it. So I want to waffle in a way where every bit of waffle counts. I know I've been over this for a few times, but just like I say, recently I felt very good about the last 3 videos, at least, that we put out. Sorry, God, I don't. I always say it's the gassy drinks, but I actually think it's just that I'm gassy from the mouth so much, talking so much, that it's just making every single bubble count. But it really struck me because when I posted that video about Nemophila, considering how much of a breakout thing they've been, how many people seem to, their fans seem to be like the hard rock metalheads, the people who usually don't take well to you criticizing that kind of music, especially if you're criticizing the heavier elements like the screamo elements. But the response has been really, really positive, especially compared to what it was when I did these kind of videos before. And I don't think that's specifically because of Nemophila. I think it's just because when people watch this video compared to, say, the more reaction-based videos we did before, the case that I'm making about my opinions about the song are presented better because they're written and rehearsed, and as a result people are watching them, and I think they're more able to say, okay, well, this guy's made his case, I don't agree with him, I think he's wrong, but they're more able to look at it and go, well, okay, at least he made his case properly. So I think it's given us a bit of I think it's given us a better position to make comments. So I don't know. I'd be really interested to know what people think about how it's been going. I hope that, if anyone feels that something's missing from the channel now that it had before, I would really like to know. But I personally feel like the material we're producing now, okay, we have to produce it a bit slower, can only do like 1 video a day, but I think it is better. I think what we're producing is better. That's just my opinion. Really, obviously, though, I want you guys to enjoy it. That's the reason I enjoy it, is because you guys enjoy it. So let's have a look, because there's a lot of comments coming in. Thank you again, CMC, dropping the Reddit a second time. Much appreciated. So Rev, hey Rev, how you doing? Other people's clothes. When I was about 9, I had a pair of trousers that were apparently previously owned by Richard Harris's son. No idea which one or how I came to have them. That's really kind of interesting. I remember the first time I went to America, 2002. Yeah, because I just left school. So I was 17. I just left school. But my friends who I was doing the band with, because you stay in school until you're 18 in America, they were still in school. So as a result, while we were doing the band, I didn't have to go to school. They did. So I would hang out with them in school, and I got to a whole group of friends who were still friends now. A lot of them came together because they were actually school friends with the guys at the time, and I was just allowed to actually just come to their school and just sort of sit in on some of the lessons. They were just like, they were really chilled out about it. And one of them, a friend of mine, Tony, who I really should do an interview with because he's got some interesting stuff. He'd really be fantastic to talk to. He was of Cuban descent. like very recent human descent, basically. And he had this just the coolest pair of like sort of sort of stuff that doesn't sound cool, but it's sort of thing that Latin people, their style is so much cooler. So it was like this pair of like sort of shorts, but they were like jeans shorts, and they had like this really awesome pattern on them. He ended up, just this long story, but I just suddenly was reminded of this. He ended up just sort of donating them to me because I was like, wow, they're really cool. He was like, oh, cool. He didn't just take them off then and there, but like a couple of days later, he came back in. He was just like, gave me a bag. He's like, there you go. You can have these. And they were way too cool for me, but I wore them anyway. And they were awesome. And but they were too big for me as well. So I had to get a special belt just to get them to hold on to me. So I really looked like I was trying to be desperately cool wearing Latin style, really funky, stylish jeans, which I was clearly having to tie a belt around to get them tied up. Oh dear. So there you go. That's fine. I put them some weight in there. It was all okay. So just random story. Harry Scandal, 9 albums, 1 EP of cover songs, and an additional album of B-side tracks from a single Best Scandal up to, I believe, Baby Action. Oh, it's not actually too many. It might even be worth considering that, actually, if I've got enough time. And again, yeah, there was a severe lack of hats lately. I've still got all the hats. I think I showed you guys on, I think was it on the Bandmade live stream? I was showing you guys that I still have all the hats. I think it was. They're all like right here. That's right, because Harry sent me the picture again, which he drew, which had me with the original hat on. So Harry, not to mention the various B-side and the Piro and the respective, yeah, and also obviously the side project. CMC, yeah, you've mentioned the same thing. Harry's saying that, okay, so you're talking about what I was just talking about, that's fine, so I'll skip over that. So 4 Bleats, the new format is good if you have already heard the material or already have plans to listen. The others need additional time investment. Do you mean as if I'm finding a new song and then listening to it? Well, I mean, that was the case with things like the Scandal one, because obviously Scandal one just came out. It took me a day to turn that round. I mean, like I said, I know songs grow on you over time, but to do a review, you can do a review of a song sitting down with it over the course of a day, and if you give yourself 2 days, which is nice because I kind of stagger them a bit, then it should be enough, in my opinion, to get that. So I don't think it's too much of a time investment to listen to the songs and get a good feel for them, because like I said, I think I was getting enough from them when I was doing it as a reaction, just hearing them once. I think I had enough in my head to do it, but now I can more form the verbal approach to it. So yeah, I mean, definitely if it's working, it's working. But yeah, good point. CMC, never feel like Unlucky Morpheus minus violin and less annoying singer. Joke warning. Never feel like I like Unlucky Morpheus. I can kind of see that, although I think just even without the violin, I think Unlucky Morpheus feel like they've got a thicker sound going on, which is really surprising. Yeah, I think Nemophilia's problem seems to be very much writing and arrangement one, what I consider to be a problem, but obviously some people see that very differently. So it's been interesting reading the comments. There's been some really great comments on that. Hey, Seabill's here. Hello. Morning in my world. Well, it's technically morning here as well, just a very different time in the morning and a different day. Thanks, Harry, for the Discord link, and thank you also for the Patreon link. Guys, much appreciated. Even if you make a one-off payment. No. No, seriously, always, Patreon guys, you do keep us alive. Non-monetized, big thank you. And also thank you to anyone pressing like, because it might not be money, but it's the currency of pushing us up in the algorithm. Airline Secret, are we talking about 90s cool, Miami Vice cool, colorblind cool? Well, I don't know if we're talking about cool at all, really, but my colorblindness certainly makes everything interesting. Rocking the red braces. I seem to be falling out of track completely with what's going on. Havoc, I'm liking your new interviews, but without the original video in... new reviews, sorry. Without the original video in some form, you probably won't capture random passers-by. Good morning. This is a good point. I want to jump on this a bit. I think I was noticing that with the reaction videos we were doing, because the reactions were not in the video, because people were having to click on a thing to go to Google Drive anyway, I think we were losing casual passers-by simply because of the fact that they were just sort of looking at it. You know, like I say, people open the video and then they immediately scan along using the little thumbnail viewer, you know, sort of tracker viewer, to see where the reaction is, and they jump straight into that. I noticed that before on the original incarnation of a channel. You'd see that just the video would start, viewer retention would be down, and then it would immediately go up at the point that the reaction had started. And you knew that's because they scanned along to find where the picture-in-picture begins, and then they just clicked on that point on the time bar and started there. So it was clear that that was a problem anyway, and that problem carried over to this channel. But obviously, without the picture-in-picture ever occurring, most people wouldn't even stay long enough for me to say, "Hey, click this button if you want to, you know, view the reaction." So it just sort of became clear to me that we weren't getting those viewers anyway. And then I thought, why not lean into it? You know, there's a space for reviews. That's basically what we're doing here anyway. So lean into it, and maybe we will find a market who are different. I've got an interview coming up with Mexi Kelly Weeb, and we're going to be talking about this amongst a lot of other topics. This is going to be a topic that we will be talking about. Yeah, we've been talking a lot on Gmail. And we're sorting out something. Hopefully we'll be doing that interview very soon. Also to point out, the band made top 25. If you haven't already seen the list, that will be coming next weekend. Is 25 to 11, and then the weekend after that is 10 to 1. I'm really explaining my reasons for all of them, so as a result that will be split over 2 weeks. I'm not just view grabbing. I really need to do it as separate videos, or it would just be too much work. Need to pace myself. And give myself realistic dates. You can find the announcement is on my Twitter as well, if you want to see that. So let's have a look here. CMC is saying, perhaps a new series, staggering reviews, what you think of a song after 12 cans of beer. That's actually kind of a cool idea. Me just getting seriously drunk and re-listening to songs that I've already heard. But that's going to be an expensive review series. I can't afford to get drunk in that kind of way so often. Harry, I still want to see a reaction video of yeah, that's the sort of thing where a reaction would have more use. So I probably would consider doing it for that, because that has a deliberate shock value. That's kind of more about the surprise than it is really about expecting it to be of high musical quality. This is why I did an actual reaction for the Sound Fighters video that I put out recently. Again, I really liked that video. I thought that went really well, but that was quite different, so that's why I didn't mention that. But I think that one went really well. I thought that just looked good. It felt good. I enjoyed it. I felt much more free and easy doing that than I had, I think, the last couple of times. And part of that was because of the fact that the reaction felt special to do there, because the reaction felt like I was reacting for a reason. It felt like there was a reason to do that as a reaction. It wasn't just another one where I have to listen to the song, so everyone might as well watch me. Sven saying, Asian Kung Fu Generation has 3 major EPs, 9 albums. So yeah, I mean, some compilations and 27 singles. There's no way that I would try and cover Asian Kung Fu Generation in a marathon. It would just be way too much. Partly because, like you say, they have a vast number of B-sides. I know that much. It would be a really tough one to tackle. So maybe, I mean, after I've done a few Asian Kung Fu Generation videos, which hopefully will come out in the next couple of months, after I've done a few of those, if we've got a strong following, then maybe I'll change my mind on that. But at the moment, it wouldn't be something that I'd consider at this point. Fernando, for the new review format, maybe link the video in the comments. Yeah, I was thinking about that today, actually. I was like, wait, I haven't. I mean, I always put a link to the video every single time at the end of my video. My video ends and immediately you get a link to the video I'm talking about. But it just shows that people never follow to the end. So, you know, if anyone actually wants to find the link, all you have to do, go to the end, go to the last 20 seconds and it will always be there. But yes, I appreciate that. That's just me being a bastard, so maybe I should actually put it in earlier. Again, you can just drink cans of Strong 9. It's like 2 beers at once. That's true, but even them, you know, it takes like a good 3 of them to get me properly like drunk enough to be... Even then, 3. I don't know if 3 would be enough to be drunk enough to be funny. It'd probably have to be 4. And then the cheaper, I can get them for like 120 yen, but I have to go a long way to that supermarket. And then it's 480 yen then. I'm not rich. Well, maybe. I just forget I'm not recording. Like, blind drunk. Sven, Asian Kung Fu Generation only has 10 or 20 songs more than Scandal. Yeah, that's a lot of songs still. Think about it, 20 songs. Even if you play them back to back without any delay, and they're all 3 minutes, which they're probably not, that would still be an hour. So you include the gaps and the fact they're probably over, that's another 2 hours on top of a live stream that's already going to be pushing 12. So think about it. I'll think about it. Maybe a Dreamcatcher marathon. I am going to do a Dreamcatcher album review for their Japanese release EP. It's a bit of a shorter one, so it's bite size. I can take it in. I did want to do something Dreamcatcher related though, because like I say, their fans have been really good to this channel. And we haven't done anything related to them recently. And they had that Japanese EP, and I really do want to do something related to that soon. Like I said, they've just had really good fans, and they give a vibe that I think is really positive, considering that they're from K-pop industry, which it's got problems. It's got good things, and it's got bad things. So I really do want to keep that side of things going. So yeah, that is something that I will come back to, and certainly have a little look on. Also, just another thing. Obviously, I want to do more of, you've seen I do some of those videos where I talk about an individual topic, kind of like think piece videos, but I feel like they're not just me sort of running off my ideas, but actually sort of analysing things. Like I did the one about what a producer is, and you've seen these. We've been talking for a while, and you've given me some subjects that I really wanted to cover, and I haven't been getting around to them, and I want to get around to them sometime soon. There's a lot of videos as well that I need to do from the suggestions list, especially the Discord one. There's a lot in there that I haven't gone back to, so I need to have a look in that. A lot of those things, but the topics, well, I guess this kind of goes for the name of this video here, topics for discussion. I was thinking about, I've written down a little list here. We mentioned doing a video about the science of album covers. The science of writing a good cover song. What are the different ways that you can write a cover song? Doing a video about that. Doing a video about how band longevity works. You have the struggles of making a band last, because there's a lot of things that people don't consider that are big issues about what makes a band last and what makes a band fail. And there's some really interesting stuff that I want to cover about that, so I will be linking into that. Another video that I'm going to do, I don't know how people feel about this, but I really want to jump into it, is a video about, it's not something that's talked about too frequently, but it comes up, is the idea of selling out. Because this is a very complicated topic. People think it's very simple, but it's actually a very complicated topic. What selling out means from the perspective of the audience, from the perspective of the band, that it very much gets to the heart of what is a bad attitude for a band or a good attitude for a band, but also the difference between how a band is seen by their audience and how things often work from behind the scenes. This very much connects to that last idea about band longevity, about the struggles of making a band last. It's a very similar thing, ties into that. So that's another one that I wanted to do a thing about. I still need to do those like music theory sort of ones, like the one about equalization, EQ. It's one I really want to jump into. There was three more points I wanted to think about. One was doing more about studio roles. I know people were interested about this before, like talking about, maybe what an executive producer is, what a sound mixer is involved in, what the mastering engineer really does, things like that. Maybe a video, I don't know how much this is really a contentious issue, but maybe a video more going into screamo music and talking about the screamo music that I actually do like, and sort of explaining, because a lot of the time when screamo comes up, it's me talking about something that doesn't work, but maybe talking about the times when it does work and sort of talking about the positive elements of how that can happen. And also I wanted to do something at some point, no rush, but about the nature again of fandom, about how you can often, you don't see the really strong fans behind an artist and what actually makes a fandom sort of work. There's a lot of these sorts of topics I want to get into. So let's have a look and just see what everyone's saying. There's a lot of comments coming in. So CMC, still think a video on why so many covers are being released, obviously to you, not to me. Like I said, that's a subject that I might get into, so that's interesting point there. So especially, like, I guess there's a lot of obvious reasons behind the pandemic, but might be worth bringing that into it as well. So more like a more up-to-date explanation of that. Fernando, Vivid Undress Marathon? Maybe, actually. I mean, I like to get a few reviews onto my belt just to make sure I'm really going to enjoy it. I think I would with them, but I think I need to. I've only reviewed 2 of their songs, so maybe a few more would be a good idea. Sven, good luck with the Reddit requests and Discord ones. Yeah, now, like I say, the Reddit one became difficult because obviously that was very tied in with before when we couldn't do copyrighted music. And now we kind of can because we're not showing it. It's difficult because I have to go through and I have to pick through that. And there's a lot of reviews as well which were requested back then where, to be perfectly honest, the person who requested it's probably long gone. So I have been thinking about a form of wiping the slate clean, but I don't want to turn too much down. Obviously, Sven, as you know, I asked you to bring a lot of your suggestions to me, and you did. So I have got, particularly Sven, I've got your ones on a separate list because I know you suggested a lot back then. Martin, hey, how you doing? Howard, we don't see much of your head today, at least not the part over your eyes. Yeah, sorry, there's a way I have a control. I didn't realise there's actually like a little control on my... I can control my camera with a little button. Just trying to... Yeah, there you go. Is that better? You can see the shine from my forehead. Plenty of t-shirt though. Hello, Secret. Rate official fan websites. That's an interesting one. I think that might be taken as a bit of an affront to the fans though. Man, although it's probably just me, but his glasses always look like they need a clean. They usually do. I'll be honest with you. That's the problem with having like plastic lenses. They get dirty. They're reading glasses, so they're not glass lenses. They're plastic lenses. That made it worse. Let's get some. Just like a little bowl of water to clean them in. Still no better. Oh well. Now I've got like sort of J.J. Abrams style lens flares happening everywhere. CMC Alia equals fun size marathon sneakers. Pun warning. Thank you. Yeah, that's Jesus Christ. What CMC? Yeah, that's actually quite an interesting one. I'd love to do a bit more Alia actually, but they don't get so many views. It's one I enjoy, but not so many people view it. Okay, I need to. I wish I hadn't even tried now. The glasses are so much worse. Do I have some water? Alright. Let's just... There we go. Trying not to pour too much water out. Oh, that was a bit much. I'm cleaning my glasses just in case you hadn't wondered. Good thing about this is I'm cleaning them while sitting here on my bed. And I always think actually it's kind of nice that I get to sit here and do these reviews. Now they're wet. I get to do these reviews sitting on my bed. I always think if I was back in London, when I was back in London, I used to do all these kind of videos and things sitting on. I had this really grotty old sofa, and I had to sit on the sofa to do all of my videos, and the sofa was broken, so half the time I felt like I was just falling through the sofa. So yeah, it's nice to have something solid to sit on. It makes it much easier. So let's have a look here. I think he wants a better shot of the Scandal poster. Yeah, can you see Scandal now? You can see them better now, right? So yeah, I think it's better now that you can see my shiny forehead. Yeah. Of course, Martin, you could rate and discuss merch. Some bands have a lot of almost nothing. Does quantity. That would be an interesting one. I wouldn't want to. Again, I don't want to sound like I'm sort of hitting on a band against something which. Oh, I have a phone call. Oh, who could this be? Well, that means one thing. Tonight's special guest, calling all the way from England, it's Bubbles!
Listen, you silly gobshite. I know you were talking about a fucking couch. I told you never to talk about a couch. I told you I'd find you if you talk about that damn couch. And what did you just do?
I talked about the couch.
Right, we're gonna have fucking words about this.
I'm so glad that this call was completely unprepared.
Sure I'm gonna deal with that.
This was not planned at all. This entire conversation was completely by coincidence. No one knew this was going to happen. Such a surprise to get a call from you.
Yeah, Yeah, it was completely unplanned, not contrived, and definitely within the realms of Love Island in terms of scripting.
Yes, I. Well, at least you got your own intro. Okay, that's the most important thing. At least you got your own intro. So, let's give a little update to people because obviously some people on the Discord know. Bubbles is obviously one of the original people who helped put together this channel. You were on the radio show with me. For anyone who doesn't know, before we moved over to doing this on YouTube, you named the channel. The channel name is Your Fault. And last
As
week,
with all good things.
your house burnt down.
Yeah. It's been a mix of highs and lows. I think what basically tipped it over the edge was you doing 8 hours of Bandmade, and I just thought, fuck it, let's burn it all down.
It was 10 hours. 10 hours.
And yeah, that didn't make it any better.
So how you been doing? How you been doing?
Surviving. Yeah. So what happened was, obviously, a bit of the story. Basically, I've had an ongoing issue with some squatters in my building, and they're leaving all their shit everywhere, and they left it in a boiler room, which was just below my apartment, so to speak.
Yeah.
And brilliant things happened. Firstly, they weren't there, so they can't get back into the building now. But secondly, we had a fire alarm test the day of the fire.
Well,
Now,
that could be a positive thing.
avant-garde art pieces aside, or method acting of some sort of weird fire technician trying to sort out his alarm, right?
Yeah.
I think it went a bit far. Right?
You think it was a test, but they took too literally.
I think they were testing a lot of things that fucking day, least of all my fucking patience.
By the way,
But,
just
yeah.
remember you've now used the F word. You've said fucking, I think, more than any other word so far. I really don't know how many of our new listeners are perhaps prepared for your wonderfully wild vocabulary.
Okay, new listeners, just to give you a little bit of a breakdown.
He's Irish.
House burnt down. I'm in an emergency accommodation. I'm also Irish, so fuck it. Please, we're going to give you CMC's address for customer complaints. It's going to be great. I can't wait for the responses. But so about midnight Friday. Wow, fire alarm's gone off.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this? Another false alarm. Stick my head out the door, see the boiler room on fire. And I mean, it was going up.
Yeah.
Because I know it was going up because somebody decides to leave a duvet in there. Because, you want to keep the boilers warm. That's some 4D 8K chess right there. Or personification gone absolutely insane. But however. So I see this, and yes, I am dressed in entirely the correct attire. Got me marble dressing gown on because
This
am
is the same.
so cool like that.
This is the same Marvel dressing gown you wore for the for both of the end of year awards, year 1 and year 2, including when you summoned all evil.
And apparently it stayed, but just in my boiler room area.
I was about to say you managed to locate it completely within a boiler room, which is doesn't play into the narrative of our video. Our video was supposed to be worldwide chaos, but you didn't manage to make it out the boiler room in the end.
Don't worry, lad. I took pictures. We can work something out next time.
Your target was in Japan. You're a few thousand miles out.
Suffering for my arse. That's got to be like 2 or 3 subs right there.
Unless
Come
you
on,
can get
clickbait the fuck out of this.
Look, unless you can get the band who shall not be named completely located within your boiler room, which is a bit too late for that now. By the way, Loon's just left a comment saying typical Irish. I just wanted you to know that that had been said. And also Harry's saying it's good to hear from Bubs. CMC bubbles on fire as usual. Nice.
Yes. I think. Hang on a second. Hang on. CMC, this one's for you. Just brilliant. Good man.
Oh, it's a slow clap. Okay.
Oh,
I thought you were starting a beat. I thought we were about to get like the Irish rendition of "We Will Rock You."
Oh, it could have been an awkward wank, to be honest. Either way. But I know that's at least two. The 2 or 3 subs for pity are now gone.
I think.
But you know.
Don't you mean the 200 or 300 subs for pity?
Oh yeah. What? No. We thought he was going to burn. That's why we signed up. He's still going. Sorry, we're going to take that one right back.
This is the
so
slowest death in history. Yes.
90 minutes, man. Not over the course of 90 minutes. Stuck my head out. I could actually see a fire, see stairs, and everything. Within minutes of that, I was outside with my phone. Couldn't see the lights in my room from outside. It went up real quick. And it didn't taste the best either. There was no hickory or barbecue flavour in that smoke at all.
Well, this
No,
is
the
what
things they
happens
tell
when
you
you
about
don't leave
barbecue.
the steaks out.
Yeah. Once again, leading the way there, Howard. But yeah, we got 2 units of the local fire brigade down. And the intense neutrality of anybody from the management company answering my calls. Literally, they checked
Intense
WhatsApp.
neutrality.
Yeah. They were like, this could go either way. I'm thinking either, and then they fucked off. But they checked WhatsApp after I called them. They just didn't check my message. But you know, they get that little message saying, this person was last on at whatever time. I got that. Anyhow, fire brigade had to sort me out some emergency accommodation. Lads, I am living the student life.
Can I just say before
Thanks.
though, when you left your apartment and the fire brigade turned up, there was one important item of health equipment that you were not wearing. What did you?
You're going to have to say it.
He didn't wear his mask.
There is that small point. I did forget my masks. The other masks that I have were still secreted within a plastic container, so they were all safe. But I was just hanging out there in, that COVID nightmare escape.
Yes.
That is our life at this moment. But, the firemen had respirators, so they were happy. But
CMC.
they took care of it in about 90 minutes. And, the place was... let's put this, the whole building, don't want to like gild the lily, wasn't burnt down. But nobody could go back in there. No water, no power. Christ knows what other chemicals they'll have to scrape off the walls.
Yeah, it was just the
my
whole.
fucking-
The walls were all black. I mean, literally just
My
black.
apartment looked like Tim Burton got a hold of fucking Pablo Picasso and decided to do some paintings on the wall. Which meant it all looked like an edgelord fucking Tim Burton at 14. It was not a good look.
It's true.
So I couldn't stay.
Even your window was suddenly bare, and it just had that sort of weird, empty frame Tim Burton look. Everything about it was strange seeing the photographs. By the way, so CMC just replied, "Bubbles, slow clap, mild dose of the crabs, solved by some natural yogurt."
Nice. I know. I give you a round of applause, but I already know you have the clap. That is a good joke, CMC. Good one. That's why you fit in here.
I like how you-
5 subs gone.
I like how you said that slow enough to imply a degree of narky sarcasm.
Let's play this. I was over. Like I was speaking to you for a bit during that, and I got into the student accommodation thing, right?
Yeah,
And you saw the pictures
yeah.
of this place. Can you really express to people how disappointed my bunk beds look with my lifestyle choices?
Now, I've got to be honest, actually. So, the room you've got would be very much familiar to anyone who's lived in sort of like single person accommodation in Japan. It's like you've got your bathroom, you've got a really tiny bathroom, but it's inside, like, it's just kind of a cubby hole of a small room you have that has two, like a bunk bed at the back, just enough room really to move between the bathroom and the bed. And then the interesting thing you've got that I don't think you'd have in Japan is you've got mirrors on both walls in the tiny bit of area where there's actually room for two walls opposite each other. There's like a floor to ceiling mirror on them just in front of your bed, meaning that when you stand in front of your bunk bed, you get that weird sort of reflected forever thing going on, which is obviously an attempt to make your room not look like it's designed solely for pigeons.
It's a literal infinity wall of disappointment thanks to the shape of my bunk bed. Which you might have to post the picture of it if I sent you a clear one. I can't remember.
You sent me a video.
Just for shits and giggles.
I didn't know if it was okay to post your video, but I might well do that.
No. Well, yeah. Post it because it's fucking hilarious to look at. And that bed, honestly, haunts my nightmares. Even my therapist doesn't want to deal with me on it.
You could just see an infinite line of depressed bubbles. An infinite line of depressed bubbles standing, looking sullen altogether.
But on the plus side, I got out of there. Like, I didn't have to go to a hospital or anything.
Yeah.
And, I have a past with a temporary/emergency accommodation. It's not that I knew what to expect, but this is way better than I was hoping. The fucking fibre is actually fucking fibre Wi-Fi in here. Lads, not gonna lie, have not had the opportunity to absolutely abuse the hell out of it, but it's delightful to know that I can.
And because
nearly 70 megs.
Because you're in very
download. What the hell?
Because you're in close space accommodation, it also means that you got the vaccine early.
Yeah, got the first jab for AstraZeneca. It was the day after, it was like the Tuesday after, yeah. So I was meant to check out on the Monday, and the Tuesday they were going to have the vaccine, so I had to organise that through the council. And by the way, the council did not cover themselves in glory on this one either, but that's an even longer story. But
can
I have to say,
yep, go on.
Getting the jab, really fortuitous, because it looks like I'll be still here and getting the second jab to really kind of make everything work. So on that side, I'm kind of like bonus points.
Yeah. So there you go, everyone. Bubbles will soon be immune to the primary strains of the virus. I'll just quickly add, CMC's added a nice comment. He's saying, one bunk bed for Mr. Bubs, the other one for the Irish guilt burden.
John, no. That's
John,
3 rooms down.
Just
looks at me through the curtain.
Just to reiterate for John and anyone who's just walking in, I'm currently speaking to Bubbles. Those long-time viewers will remember Bubbles as being... you've obviously been doing other things like avoiding your burnt-down house recently, but long-time contributor to the channel and one of the original people who set it up, was with me on the radio show before we moved over to YouTube, and is primarily responsible for naming this channel, which has therefore resulted in me being called Baka, which means idiot or fool, for the last 3 years. Good work.
Well, it was either that or Weeb.
Yeah,
we could have called the show Weeb Are the Champions. It was very close to that as an idea.
I would have never accepted that. I would have never accepted that. I would rather be a backer than to take on the weeb thing, because a backer is someone who might not know that they're an idiot. A weeb is someone who is intentionally ignorant to the reality, who's dressed themselves up in this concept that Japan is something that it absolutely is not. There is a big difference. So I would rather be stupid than ignorant. So Harry, who wants to donate? Who wants to donate to the Bubbles Alcohol Shotgun Fund?
Speaking of which, if you,
that's pretty much just the Bubbles income.
How would you get drunk and do reviews? I mean,
that came up. Came up. Yeah, you watch. Were you watching the stream when that came up?
Yeah. I mean, already I have some thoughts. Firstly, it would be nice for you to get drunk and do the reviews rather than me.
Well, I
You
think that's
fucking
pretty much what
enabler.
you were doing before anyway. When you were doing reviews before, your reviews basically were just, well, they were you, so they were drunk. Um,
And also, bandmade. Mate, I know for a fact you get 2 uses out of a bandmade outfit, right? Firstly, bandmade reviews. Secondly, Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm saying don't dismiss the option.
your adoration of the
If
Rocky
somebody
Horror
finds
Picture
you
Show
one-
is not something that I necessarily can say that I mimic.
You mere mortals.
I just
Mere
offended his religion, by the way.
But I am just letting everybody know I'm okay. Don't worry, it's not the worst thing, but I do need some time to sort myself out again. Unfortunately, I was making some fucking progress this time around.
Should
Well,
should we or should
you know,
we
in
should
due
we or
course.
should we not tell them about the secret project?
No,
No.
we're not. We're not. You know why? Because I actually want to fucking drop something and give it to you guys and do something, and then you can all have a laugh and roast me for it, because I should have been doing this months ago, but you know, things have now been delayed. And I actually want to, considering the amount of time that everybody in the community puts into this project, you know, I actually want to feel like I'm contributing in a strange way, actually working for it, you know.
It's very strange because you've kind of gone from being in front of the camera to very much being. I mean, you've been very active in a lot of the things. I mean, in all seriousness, now a lot of the things that have changed in the channel recently, of which I think a lot of them have been very positive. A lot of the changes that are coming up that people maybe don't know about, which are more expansions than changes. You've been very active. We've had a lot of conversations leading to a lot of decisions. So it's interesting because I think from the perspective of people who are watching from home, they I think there's probably almost that idea for anyone who's been with the channel for the 2.5 years, or anyone who's with the radio before. I don't think we have many people from the radio come across to the channel, but for anyone who's been around for that long, it must be almost like you've disappeared. But in actuality, you've been very actively involved in a lot of this, a lot of what the channel is. So it's going to be really nice to have you back in a role. And we were talking just a couple of hours ago when we decided to do this impromptu phone call that wasn't planned. We were talking even then about another thing that that hopefully we're going to work on together. So it's going to be very nice to have you back in the channel, but I think this time doing things that maybe more suit you. And you're going to have your own little space. Again, I don't want to give away too much, but you're going to have your own little space, which is going to give you room separate from the normal activity of the channel. It's going to really give you sort of room to do your thing. So
you really heard it here first, everybody. Howard doesn't want me calling. He's just going to say, listen, I'm going to divert the phone to CMC and I'll just rant every time there's a live stream. Just letting you all know how I'm contributing.
We'll come up with a separate link which you think is the live stream, but it's just a sound feedback loop of your own audio going to yourself. And you're like, yeah, I'm really ruling on this live chat. Yeah, but you're just listening to it.
The worst part is it's actually going to be the old 34K modem noise, and I'll still think I'm winning the argument.
Be arguing against yourself and be totally satisfied. I'm going to jump into some of the comments here. So Murta is saying, you could be ignorantly stupid. I think that's actually a good way of looking at it. You could be ignorant or stupid or ignorantly stupid. That perhaps compounding the two things together is not the best way of looking at it. He then followed that up with "Por qué no los dos?" which sounds familiar, but I don't know what it means. It's probably an insult. CMC says, "Staggering reviews." Proudly brought to you by String Zero. I like that. Staggering reviews. John adds, I'm down for okay, so Vivid Undress Marathon would be good. That's a band name that definitely I need to give you more time with. I do, by the way, I also like that when me and Bubbles did a joint review of Necry Talkie before, Bubbles came up with referring to them as Necro Toffee. toffee of the dead. So
Only-
necro toffee was what they were called.
Only way to deal with it. They're great music. Really enjoyed it. You know, even better on further reviews. But yeah, I'm going to talk with their management, which is also why I'm not allowed on live streams. There's a lot of reasons why Howard is keeping me away. They're all good, by the way. They're all actually correct reasons. That's all I'll say.
So I banished Bubbles to this prison in the Middle East that was actually just a pit in the ground, and he's been slowly training to jump out of the pit and come to the surface and return.
Yeah, I'm trying to learn how to talk like a traveller while wearing a COVID mask. Sorry, I mean Bane.
Yeah, I was about to... Go on, give it a shot. Give it a shot.
No, I'm
No.
not. Because that Bane is actually based on a specific accent. And I know the accent.
It's a form of
but all the
Caribbean,
accent-
isn't it? I heard it's a form of Caribbean.
No, it's Irish travellers, Irish gypsies. But the ones that I would know, they'd sound more like the ones in Snatch. So I don't
If you're talking
know-
about like that.
I mean, I don't know if Tom Hardy called up Guy Ritchie and went, "What's your best Irish accent you got?" And you haven't used. Just went, "Here you go."
So looking through some of the comments here, CMC's left a lot, so I'm going to run through these quickly. Roast bubbles served with some fava beans and a nice properly poured Guinness. Please drop a like if... CMC's pointing out to the people, remember, please drop a like if you dig the glasses cleaning montage, or dislike if you also do not like the Rocky Horror Picture Show as well on the stream.
Oh, hold on.
if-
Ooh, hang on. Dislike the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Okay, we're going to have some administrator fun later on with that comment.
Interesting point. See, despite Bubbles being one of the founders and naming the channel, CMC has higher moderator privileges than Bubbles does.
CMC is always higher than me in every sense of the word. If he thinks he's got more powers than me.
CMC.
You don't have the power of both deception and disappointment, my friend. I will find you.
CMC, I'm asking you as a matter of, just being kind and reasonable. Please don't delete Bubbles' account. Please don't. Leave him. Leave him be. Just because he will come.
yet.
He will
I
come
think
back in
just-
another form. You strike him down. What's the quote? If you strike him down, he will become.
Come back and ask for a second vote on Brexit.
That's the one. CMC saying, if the phone was diverted to me, will an interpreter be included? Well, basically the way to interpret it, you don't
Sign language.
you don't interpret Bubbles through an interpreter. You interpret him through drinking till the point where you're on the same level as him. Once you've drunk up to that level, then you can understand him. It's that's what Irish interpretation is.
We're just going to send him a sign language expert, and that's it.
So Rev says, recorded message, your call is important, please hold. That's what we should get you to record one of those, Bubbles. Four Bleats is saying, Vivid Undressed only have one album, a handful of EBs. Is that enough for a marathon? If that's the case, then no. But still, I want to cover more of them anyway, so probably I'll do if I've only got one album, I'll do that. Harry says, I like Necco Toffee better. That's kind of a cool one. Necco. Do you understand what that means, Necco Toffee? Do you know
Yeah,
Necco?
I can use words.
No, it's a Japanese
Thank
word,
you.
you dipshit. Do you know what Necco means?
No, I thought you meant it was like we call it necking back in Dublin when you were kissing some girl or a guy or whatever. You'd be necking. So I thought you were going for that. But
Necking
this
toffee.
is,
No.
this is the,
Necco is a word for cat, and therefore it kind of has like a sort of a cute implication. It makes it sweeter. Necco toffee. It sounds nice. It takes away all of the
Necking,
harm
necro,
from listening
necking.
to you talk. So CMC says, fight you for a caravan. I wish I'd read
Listen,
that before I read it, if you know what I mean. It was-
I know. But listen, lad. I don't want this to turn into the Bubs and Howard show because it'll be vastly more popular. I don't want to steal your thunder.
Dude, my thunder was nothing more than a cracker at a fireworks parade.
It was more of a wet fart.
It was just a puddle accruing around a doormat.
Like, there's genuinely people still asking very valid questions, and the rest of it is quite rightly some abuse thrown my direction.
Do you know what though? What really surprises me is we still have the same number of viewers as we did when you came on the call. It's the same number. It's amazing.
Well,
You failed.
That'll be fantastic.
You failed to scare people off. I feel like you might be. I'm not gonna poke the pit bull. I don't know what you'd say if I do.
Let's not challenge me.
Yeah, no, let's not. You know, you did great. You did great. Everyone hates you. It's all good. Don't worry. You're fine, man. You're fine. You're fine. Mission accomplished. George Bush style. Time to go home.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot worse
20
things
years.
in your T-shirt if I continue.
Right, let's roll through some more of the comments before you wrap things up. Motor saying, Necrotoffee, the new happy hardcore bubblegum black metal side project of mayhem bassist Necro Butcher. That would actually be kind of. It sounds like it's getting really dark under his watch. Motor saying, you have no power here.
I can imagine that in Eurovision.
Morta's mentioned you have no power here. CMC the Grey, Bubbles 2021. Is that's a Lord of the Rings thing, isn't it?
Yep.
I know my references. I'm not.
I know. One of these days, I'm going to make a reference about a Japanese band, man. You're going to be so proud of me because it'll be on point. Can't wait for that day.
You're going to be studying so hard to pull that off. CMC, I'd have to stop drinking or mainline some Clatchian coffee to get to Bubbles Devil, and the therapy bill would be too much. Given up. Amy Williams, who is, I think, either first time commenter or it's been a while, just put lol. Do you know what? And we got an extra like at roughly that time, and we've even got an extra view. No, we got 2 likes in the video. I just want to say, Amy, thank you so much for leaving that comment. I think Amy speaks perhaps for the people who come into these live chats without necessarily knowing what the hell's going on. Maybe who just sit and watch casually, who don't feel the need to comment about everything, who are happy just to sit back, relax, and listen to talk, and then they get you.
Well, in fairness, Amy, this is actually a pre-recorded call. This is Howard gone through the St. Patrick's Day filter on his phone, and then just playing the conversation back.
We need a Bubbles app. We need a Bubbles app. Yeah. They talk about the loneliness problem in Japan. We should give everyone a Bubbles application for their phones. Like, are you working too much? Don't get enough time to socialize. Are you feeling lonely? Have a drunk Irishman. Everyone, that'll put you off people for life.
Did your place burn down? Get the Bubbles app.
Do you want your place to burn down?
Get Bubbles insurance.
So, Martin Edwards, cat toffee, Necro toffee, dead cat toffee. Oh, Jesus Christ. This has gone down a very dark route all of a sudden. So, Martin has just...
This is awesome. Do you know, we're getting an insight into something here, all right? This is literally the problem with the IRA, with the Necro toffee thing. It was like, there was the real IRA, the continuity IRA, diet IRA, fully organic and holistically sourced IRA.
You know a lot about the
they're just
IRA.
doing the same things. Well, mostly that they're vegan friendly now.
If you survive, you can have some veggies. Yeah. CMC says, she was referring to, I'm not going to go. He's replying to someone else. Nagins, let's have a look here. That can be fixed with massive drinking. Agreed. We should get James to drink. James is not much of a drinker. He is, shall we say, he is definitely the more refined and palate having of the three of us. Palate availed of the three of us. So
that's just another way of saying sober.
I just read Nagoon's follow up. He said that can be fixed with massive drinking. Push past the wall. That should be your slogan, man. That should be your slogan. I love that. Push past. When you're talking about drinking irresponsibly and you use the phrase "push past the wall," that's fantastic. That's the most irresponsible thing I've seen posted in this entire or any of our live streams. He's out irresponsible to you. Good work, Nagoon.
In fairness, though, it's a very much a positive reinforcement. I think he's behind me on this, just to see how I'll fuck up.
Fernando says Bubbles can dream. Lol. I wish I knew what he was referring to. It just has like an insulting vibe to it, but I'm not sure 100% what he's referring to. What did you say that you think that refers to? What do you think Fernando's doing?
Everything since I said hello about the couch. That's
Bubbles can dream.
It's all been downhill from there.
CMC, interestingly, posting this at me. While he is from Dublin, please inform Mr. Bubbles that if he needs something and I can help, he should get in touch. Paul. Dire IRA new album, Peace Communique. You're not in Dublin though, are you? You're in.
No.
You're in. Go on, disappoint everyone.
I'm in London, so I'm in London. I'm actually close to Kilburn at this moment in time. That's how close I am to the couch.
Kilburn is a place. In case anyone was wondering, he's not actually going to kill and burn people despite what's happened recently. Kilburn is a place, not an action.
Mind in some cases. But yeah, no. But don't worry, that just means anything that needs to be sent to me may be subject to either EU VAT or just general annoyance from Royal Mail.
So, Kilburn isn't a place, man. It's a state of mind.
All right, let's let you get back to the main thrust of the matter. Because I'm worried about your bedtime. Also, I need to pee, and
Motto says, "Chat full of enablers." You're being enabled. It's true. We should be an intervention, not an. Now, next week let's have an intervention. How do you feel about an intervention next week?
All right, I'll tell you what. During the live stream next week, I'll pop on, maybe for a quick chat, maybe for an admonishment of my ideas on life, but most importantly because it'll be closer to Paddy's Day, so screw it.
Yeah, we should have a Paddy's Day live stream where you just get really fucked up.
Yeah, it'll start on Sunday, but it has to last till Wednesday. But you know what? I'm economic.
It's like, this will be a new marathon live stream, but unlike the last one, which was interesting, this will just be you want to just like sort of swear for one day, cry for the second day, and laugh without any reason for the third day. Maybe finish by telling everyone how much you love them.
I think we should go with the entirely most brilliant quote that encapsulated 2020, which is live, laugh, and love.
Wait, that was positive. What's happened? Where's Bubbles? Who are you?
Oh, it's the people who buy that sign you got to worry about.
I'll wait to find out. All right, Bubbles, thank you so much for joining us, man. It has been an absolute pleasure. Having half an hour of you on here without managing to lose too many subscribers has been something of a Guinness record book worthy achievement. So always a pleasure.
Had to throw in the casual racism about alcoholism there, didn't you?
Do you know what? When I made that intro video for you, I was seriously thinking about animating a little leprechaun to dance across the bottom of the screen. I thought that might be too far.
Look, there's a lot of things that come out of my arse. Rainbows and gold ain't one of them, so I wouldn't.
All right, man. Thank you so much. You have a lovely day, and I will catch you later, as always.
No problem, lad. And to the rest of you on stream, how he is, have a good day, have a good laugh, and don't worry, I won't subject you to many more surprises. For now.
That's Bubbles. All right, thank you so much. Let's have a little read on the comments coming in here. Kilburn, Dublin Light. Kilburn almost looks like someone's like spoonogram Dublin. It's got a lot of the same letters, but not quite. Fernando, Bubbles dreaming of making obscure reference to a Japanese band. Maybe it can happen when he looks into the bottom of an empty glass of beer. That's his version of reading tea leaves, and he just suddenly sees. Gakkaric Spin. I loved his Gakkaric Spin review he did with me. He flipped out when we did the. Anyone remember that? That was from Live Week, which was just before the original channel got shut down. Live Week, which was like over a month. We did that joint review of Gakkaric Spin. I'll see if I can find that for you guys. Maybe put it on the OneDrive or the Google. But that was brilliant. He just lost his mind watching that. He wasn't ready for that. So Harry's saying Paddy's, I think you mean Paddy's Day with Bubbles, YouTube community strike incoming. Well, yes, I agree. I agree. We could lose the channel, but we could gain so many memories. And Fernando's saying happy St. Patrick's CFC, St. Patrick most alcoholic saint ever. I don't even know really if there's much of a connection between. I don't think there's any connection between like St. Patrick. He was the one who drove the snakes away, wasn't he? No connection that I can see between him and alcohol. It's just the fact that he's associated with Ireland. Ireland's associated with an alcohol. Imagine being vicariously connected to a mind-altering drug. It's like, I just tried to do good things for people and become a saint, and now I am vicariously connected with a mind-altering drug and acts of senseless madness. So, good for him. St. Patrick. Oh yeah, I already read that. All right, guys. Well, anyway, we're over an hour. That was longer than I expected that phone call would be. I thought it was very nice. So I'm thinking of rounding things up, but let's just have a quick talk before we do. I just wanted to sort of go over those core points again. Like I said, a big part of this for me is the fact that I really hope you guys have been enjoying the changes on the channel. I really hope that you're interested in some of the subjects I mentioned for upcoming like think pieces. I want to do a few of those because I think now I'm getting a chance to really talk about stuff that I think is actually interesting to people in a little bit more of a way that, you know, you can sit down and watch it in a very direct way. You don't have to listen to me ramble so much. So I'm hoping that you guys are going to enjoy that. I hope that there's, what's this? CMC drove the snakes away, left the English. Bastard. I think the English came later. I'm not getting into that. Marta says, it's not about losing the channel. It's about the friends you made along the way. That's beautiful. That's actually genuinely quite beautiful. Thank you, Marta, for making this shambles of a live stream into something a little bit more polite. I knew that he would send me a link. Alright, let's see what Bubbles has sent me. I'm just glad that he didn't post it in chat. Because whatever it is, I bet it's gonna. He loves this Japanese video by a group called the Drinking Boys, which, if I seem to remember correctly, is just Irish people try Asian alcohol. I'm just gonna show you guys what he's posted. So this is the sort of stuff that I get from Bubbles on a relatively regular basis. I don't know if that's even visible actually. Let's try and... Can I lower them? Oh, there we go. It's the kind of thing that I get from Bubbles. I will watch that afterwards. I'm sure it'll be very Bubbles-centric. Anyway, yeah, so... yeah, absolutely. I'm really looking for... Like I say, Bubbles has got some really cool stuff he's going to be doing. It's not going to... This is something we have to... It's not going to be in the normal channel. It's going to be somewhere else. I'm not going to spoil anything yet. It's a bit of a surprise. But Bubbles is going to be doing some cool stuff. And I will let you guys know when it comes to it where his content's going to be appearing. But he's working on it. He is very much involved in the background of the channel. We talk extensively about a lot of the decisions that are taken, a lot of the things that have been happening just everything that really affects the way this channel works kind of goes between me and Bubbles and James as well. Although James is just kind of, he knows what he's doing, he gets on with it, he kind of works in his own way. So, man, I love the fact that James is just like, bam, just like uploads a video. I'm like, oh, where did that come from? Watch it. That's really cool. So I had to put no work in at all. Just James just does it. So, yeah. Although James, by the way, if you've been wondering, he hasn't uploaded a video in about a week. He has been working on some stuff. He got a rather large box of deliveries through, and he's working on breaking those down. There's a lot of new things. It's not just all food. He's got a lot of interesting Japanese items. I think some of it's like anime related and stuff as well. I think he's going to be doing videos about that as well. Remember, the Backer Binge channel is there. No videos are on it, but if you check out Backer Binge, they have got their own channel. I say they, I mean James. So do follow up on that as well. Let's have a look here. There's a few comments coming in, so I'm just going to try and catch up. Especially English attempted humour warning, says CMC too late. Again, covering the core points of beer, couch, and Bubbles. I'm glad that everyone remembers the couch. The couch was truly awful. I don't think there's any... I'll see if I've got a picture of the couch. I don't think there's words to describe it. And I've got a recording somewhere where when Bubbles first... we were going to do a recording session, and this was when we were working together. I invited Bubbles to come over to my house, and we've met a couple of times outside of work. And we kind of had the same sense of humour, and we like to sort of like record and make stuff and like content. So this was around the time that I was thinking about stuff like for the radio show, and I was planning things like maybe we should do a radio show, planning like content creation things of a similar kind. And anyway, so I think the camera needs to come up a little bit, doesn't it? So Bubbles came to my house, and just you go in through the front room, and then there's like to the right hand side you go through a door, and there's the living room which had this fucking awful couch in it, and it was made worse by the fact that it was covered in like I was living in like a shared house at the time. Well, I was living in like a small first floor apartment in this house. But I got to use the living room and the kitchen, and basically the family who lived there was mother and daughter. They didn't really use anything outside their own bedrooms, so basically I had free run of the house, which was great. And this living room was mostly me who was using it, but I had to accept that it was styled by the mother, who was a bit of a hippie, and she had this old couch that was like totally destroyed, and she tried to cover it by putting like all kinds of throws and rugs and stuff on it, and it just looked much worse. It just looked awful. And Bubbles just walked through the door, saw it, and just went into it. He was like, okay, because you could see I had the recording stuff set up for us to record some material. He was just like, just press record. And I pressed record, and he just went on this rant that I think lasted about 20 minutes of him just giving so many metaphors and breakdowns of why the couch was awful. So yes, that's what that's about. So Simpsons says, once again, please drop a like if you have not and appreciate incoherent, profane rants, or dislike if you are po-faced and don't. Nice use of po. Again, thank you, CMC, for dropping the Reddit. Thank you, Harry, for dropping the Discord. Motto says he would love the Japanese thrash metal band I was just looking up earlier. They only sing about beer and getting drunk. He would get some fun out of that. CMC, Bubbles' new theme song, Alk Monster by Silent Siren. Actually, I should introduce him to that, although I think he would probably find it not quite alcoholic enough. Harry, if there is anything you think I can help with channel expansion wise, let me know. Thank you. I might actually get on to you about that. There's a few things that we're working through slowly. We need a little bit of time. But as you guys know, we've already set up the Jam channel, the Back Binge channel. There's a few things coming about. So we're slowly rolling them out. I am talking to certain people about certain things, but there will be some things that definitely I can get to you soon about. And if you've got time, I know you're going through a lot of your own stuff at the moment, Harry, but if you can help with anything, I'll throw some things your way that hopefully you can really help me with. Martin says, would you consider the complex interplay between anime and music, each art form feeding the other? Yes, that's a very interesting point. I'm not sure how that would look as a video. I'd have to do a bit of... I'm more familiar with how music plays into TV and movies as a general, but maybe that would be a video that I could do with James, because he's very well versed on anime, and I'm obviously very well versed on the music. So between us, I think we could maybe create a video together. So that's something I'll talk to him about. That might take a while to put together because I'd want to really sort of construct something from that. But really good point. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this one up now. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's time for me to get a little bit of a rest. Enjoy the last of the beer. Can't believe that lasted almost an hour and a half. A big thank you again for everyone tuning in. I really appreciate all the likes that you guys put on these videos. Again, these videos have quite long viewer times, and YouTube does things based on how long people view things, not how many view them. So long viewer times with lots of likes is really good for us in the algorithm, because we're not monetized to keep on saying it, and it's true. A big thank you, therefore, to everyone who presses like on these videos. I hope you've enjoyed the chat. I hope it was a bit of fun. I hope that we all had a good time here. I'm really looking forward to bringing you some new content. I really hope you like the new format of a channel. There'll be some more think pieces, which, like I said, I don't want to make them sort of boring opinion pieces. There'll be pieces where I really break down things that might actually be interesting that maybe you haven't considered or don't know, as well as keeping on reviewing music. More album reviews coming up. Really wouldn't mind checking out some Peggy's, as well as Asian Kung Fu Generation. There's so many bands. Polka Dot Stingray are one of them as well. So much to check out. I just want to say a big thank you to you as always. Again, thank you to everyone who was here last week for the massive live stream. But this is the music community, and whether you be one of those people who sort of quietly sits back and watches, thank you so much for being here. We don't get to say thank you to you guys enough because of the fact that obviously you're very quiet and we don't know who you are. Thank you nonetheless for that. If you're one of these people who is very much commenting, thank you for being part of it. But just please remember, it's a community, and whether you be passive or active, we really want everyone to feel involved. So please let me know if you have any opinions at any time, and I will do my best to make sure that our material keeps getting better for you guys. Anyway, look, a big thank you. I'm just going to read the last few comments here. So good night from Sven. Marta saying ciao ciao. Fernando, stay safe, folks. Until next time. Fort Bleach says off to watch the Eye of the End listening party for the new EP. Nice, y'all. Doubt I understand a single word. See you. Yeah, that is true, actually. If you're an Iron or a Bish fan, do check that out. I did see that was linked as well. Ciao ciao for now. Stay safe, everyone. Says CMC TTFN. Ta-ta for now. See you next time from Martin. And again, so long. Stay safe. Harry. Da matane. And the Discord link. How kind. Thank you. CMC, not enough the Wisely Brothers. Oh, give me a chance. I'm still working on my new Bride here song. Yeah, please come on Discord and help us make fun of GMID the Howard. Yeah, remember the Discord. Do look it up. If you, the Discord link's right there, actually. Harris just posted it. If you want to get involved in Japanese conversation, well, not Japanese conversation, but conversation about Japanese music or music as a general, join it. It's active all the time. Anyway, there you go. Thank you so much. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. I'm really enjoying how great the community aspect's been, how wonderful everyone's been about the videos, especially the Nemophilia one. I was really worried. I was saying, well, not so much worried. I was thinking I'm going to get 50-50 likes and dislikes at best. Came through. It's been over 90% pretty much for most of the time since it came out. So a big thank you to everyone for just the fact that this community seems to be really full of genuine music fans, and that's really what I wanted. So I hope you're all getting something from it. Until I see you next time in Japan for the next one of these. For now... Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Ciao, ciao. An Englishman, an Irishman, and a Scottishman walk into a bar, and then Bubbles burns it down.